Hello, everybody. My name is Melvin, and I'm here to read my story. It's called the POE and the Gateway in the Basement. If you haven't noticed, it's a new venue. So it's a my book is a supernatural horror story, and I'm on chapter 16. So it's gonna start getting good soon. There we go. Jacob grabs his sword and places it into its sheath. He then grabs Brittany's hand so they can walk out into the living room to meet up with Rebecca, Nick, and Frank. They are all ready to go and are standing beside the front door waiting on Jacob and Brittany. Are you two ready? Rebecca asks. Not really, but let's go and get this over with. Jacob sighs. He is overwhelmed about where they are about to venture. So, with everybody ready to go into hell, they exit out of the apartment door, walk down 2 flights of steps, and enter another door, which leads to the laundry room. Once inside there, they see that the gateway is is the size of an automobile, and now there are at least a dozen headstones surrounding the gateway. Jacob did not feel like counting every single one of them because he sees hands slowly digging themselves out of the ground in front of the headstones. I think that we need to get out of here now, he quickly admits to the horrors of what he sees. I see them too, Jacob. We need to hurry and get inside that gateway, Rebecca advises. She steps in front of everybody. Follow me in a single file line and take out your weapons. She begins to carefully step through the small cemetery. If they are able to get inside that gateway undetected, they will have at least one advantage, the element of surprise. Everybody else sees Rebecca getting ready to defend herself, as now there are two arms grasping the dirt in front of them, trying to pull themselves out of their own graves. Once heads begin to form out of the ground, everybody begins to cut off the heads as they walk by them, making their way to the gateway. A few of the zombies that are closest to the gateway grabs Brittany's left ankle. Jacob quickly chops off that specific zombie's head, and then its arms go lifeless. A zombie grabs her other ankle from the opposite side of her. Jacob chops off its zombie's head as well. Some of the undead corpses have made it out of their graves and now are looking towards them. All right, team, I don't know how this is going to feel, so hold your breath and cross your fingers, Rebecca advises. She cuts off a couple more zombie heads and then jumps into the gateway, disappearing into nothingness. Everybody else quickly jumps in behind her, one after the other. They leave a couple zombies there, but whoever gets to come back through can kill them then. They all land safely upon a squishy floor. Once they see Rebecca, they walk over towards her. Oh. Welcome to hell, she says. It is nothing like any of them expected. The floors and walls are made of human flesh, and they are actually beating like a normal heart would. There are screams and moans from tortured souls coming from every direction, but nothing adds up to the smell. It is so bad, Brittany and Jacob both hold their noses with their free hand. It's so bad, the closest they can describe it is wonder if you have a dead body out in the hot sun all summer. It's just so bad that everybody's stomach begins to curl. What are these? Brittany asks. She walks over towards one of the walls and notices that there are doors with small cracks in them, all the way down both sides of the hallway. Those are cells for the souls who crossed Lucifer. They are waiting for Legion, so he changes them into demons. Some of the moans and groans are coming out of the little cracks from inside each and every cell. What we like to call them are tortured souls. Can we move on? Rebecca begins to walk farther down the small corridor. Hold on a minute, Rebecca. I think that Brittany's stuck, Jacob admits, as somebody's hands have a tight hold on Brittany's ankles. What the hell? Brittany is just surprised as everybody else. Who would have thought that something would grab your ankles from inside the wall? What's wrong? Rebecca walks over towards Brittany at the same time she unsheathes her sword. Something has a hold of my ankles. There is quite a lot of fear in Brittany's voice. Then her fear is completed when the two hands that has a grasp of both of her ankles pulls her into the wall. Then the wall itself closes itself, so nobody can follow her. Whoever took her does not want anybody to come through the wall with her. Rebecca's guess is that Balthazar wants her as collateral, just in case they are too much for him to handle. He has Brittany as hostage, and he can kill and steal her soul at any time he wants. Holy shit! What happened? Where did she go? Jacob is puzzled. He knows that he is in hell, but come on. As soon as they enter, Brittany just has to get kidnapped? Out of all places to lose your girlfriend. Jacob, calm down. Rebecca places her right arm around his neck. She just lost Brittany, so the last thing that she needs is for him to go running after her. Listen to me. Jacob is still trying to get free from her grip. This is the first time that we have been into any part of hell, so I don't have any idea what could be behind any door. If you go chasing Brittany, you will probably be killed and your soul will be taken. Do you understand that we are in a very complicated situation? Yes. Jacob begins to calm himself. But what are we going to do about getting Brittany back? I'm not going to leave her down here. We won't. Trust me on this. Balthazar is going to keep her alive because he is scared of us. Are you sure that he is scared of us? Don't forget he is more powerful in his own personal hell. Frank chimes in his 2 cents. This is first time down here as well. Who knows what kind of traps he has laid out specifically for them. I am positive all of his efforts were to make sure that we had to come into his domain to fight him. Have you ever looked into the Protectors of Earth's history? As a secret organization, we have stopped a lot of plans that were made by a lot of supernatural beings. Rebecca starts to explain, but she is just scratching the surface of things. I was there when the headmaster and high priest were talking about top secret missions, so I understand that this organization can do wonders. But have you ever thought about all of the agents who died in order to spoil all of those plans? Frank begins to talk about something much deeper than the POE signs you up for. I'll be alright, Becky. You don't have to worry about me. I won't go anywhere, Jacob says. So Rebecca takes a look at him. She must believe in his words because she lets him free. At first, he just takes a couple steps like he is just giving himself some personal space. But Brittany is way too important to him for him to just stand around and hope for the best. So he runs as quickly as he can, but his speed is a fast walk. The floor underneath feels like human flesh and muscles, so every step he takes, it feels to him like he is trying to run through water. Almost impossible. Since he is having trouble walking down the small corridor, he knows that Rebecca, Nick, and Frank will have just as much trouble, and they won't be able to catch him before he reaches the next door. That is not a cell for tortured souls, but as soon as he reaches the door, grasps his left hand around the door handle, and then gets electrocuted. He quickly lands upon the floor, and his body begins to shake. Rebecca, Nick, and Frank all try to get to Jacob as quickly as they can, but they are having some trouble walking upon the floor. Once they get to him, however, it is Nick and Frank who attend to him. Rebecca sits upon the squishy surface from where they must walk, examining it as thoroughly as she can, trying to figure out what kind of substance it's made from and how they can maneuver against the gunk. But the only thing that she can come up with that it's actually made from human muscles. She takes out her knife and cuts off a little chunk and gets a much closer look. Once she figures out that it is very warm human intestines, she immediately drops it back upon the floor. Now she can at least now explain why they are having such a hard time moving around. But still, she is grossed out nevertheless. As she walks back over towards her group, she wonders what kind of twisted being would make hell this horrible. How is he doing? We have to move. She looks at the ceiling now and sees a box in the center of the corridor. Then there are dozens of cords coming out of it, and each one of them is connected to one of the doors. He is awake, but it doesn't really matter if we can't go through that door. Nick gives Jacob some water in a canteen that he brought with him after he sits up. We can get through that door. Give me one of your throwing knives. She takes it with her, left hand, tosses it into her right hand, her more dominant hand, then throws the knife as hard and accurate as she can towards the big box that is upon the ceiling. The knife goes into the box and gets stuck. The box gets short-circuited, and the electricity stops going through the doors and cackles up at the ceiling with immense frustration. Nice shot, Nick applauds. They all then stand up, knowing that they can now get safe passage into the next death trap. Thanks, little brother. She places her left arm around him, giving him a small hug, while they follow Jacob and Frank through the doorway and into the next room, which is pitch black. The door quickly slams closed, and very dim lights begin to flicker, only enough for them to be able to see enough of the room for them to know it's another death trap. Most of the room is made up of a pool, and the pool is filled with blood, and the blood is boiling. Now, how are we supposed to get across? Frank asks the group. No idea. Rebecca is just as confused as he is. From what she can tell, there is no drawbridge, no boat, and no way to swim. And to think it's only going to get worse from here. Getting better, getting good, right? I still have about 3 chapters left. So, stay tuned, like, comment, share, subscribe, you know the deal. And I will be reading some probably sooner than you think, because I want to get done this book. I got 2 more I can read. So, see you next time.